Have any of you heard how does a politician go from investigating presidents like Trump to having the FBI search his own home? And is that accountability or political revenge from the Trump administration? You should care even if you cannot stand Eric Swalwell and even if you think he has been treated unfairly, because the legal standard we accept when the government targets our political opponents becomes the standard that the government can use against everyone else. Did you know this has been reported? The Associated Press and Reuters say federal agents seized electronic devices from former Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell at the San Francisco International Airport. That was a little aggressive. A day later, agents reportedly executed a search warrant at his Washington, D.C. home as part of an investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct, which is weird because we still have the Epstein files. That is now a major escalation, but it is not a conviction, and it is not even proof that charges are coming. Swalwell has denied allegations of sexual assault and misconduct, as most of them do. In April, he resigned from Congress and ended his campaign for governor of California after multiple allegations became public. The House Ethics Committee had opened an investigation, but once he left Congress, the committee lost its jurisdiction over him to do anything. Now the criminal investigation appears to be moving forward, but here's the but. The public still has not seen the warrant affidavit, the alleged federal offense, the evidence agents presented to a judge, or what agents even found in the first place on those electronic devices. So the central question is not whether the search looks dramatic, because it does. He did it in the LAX. The unanswered question is this: what specific evidence persuaded a judge enough that there was probable cause to search Swalwell's home and seize his devices? And will that evidence support a charge or end without one? Until we know that, anyone declaring him guilty or completely exonerated is moving faster than the facts will allow. Should we slow this down and explain the legal standard? Of course we should. That's why Money in Politics Simplified does. That's what we're all about here. The Fourth Amendment says warrants must be supported by probable cause and most particularly describe the place to be searched and the things to be seized. Now, Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 41 says a judge must issue a warrant when there is probable cause to search for and seize evidence or property connected to a crime. That means, in simplest terms, agents do not simply get to decide on their own that they wanted Swalwell's phone. They had to present sworn information to the judge and identify what they wanted the authority to search or seize. But probable cause is still an investigative threshold. It is not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It does not decide guilt. It authorizes a search for evidence, but they still got the warrant. So did you know that Rule 41 specifically allows a warrant to authorize seizure of electronic storage media, followed by later review of that information consistent with the warrant? That matters, and that matters a lot because the phones and laptops contain years of messages, photos, location history, contact records, and metadata. But here's where the responsible reporting has to stop speculating. That includes me. We do not know which data the warrant covers. We do not know the date range. We do not know whether agents were looking for communications with specific people, travel records, deleted material, or something else all entirely. We do not know whether the search produced incriminating evidence. We're still speculating. We have to wait. Exculpatory evidence is also important. This is important to point out that the allegations did not begin with this raid. In April, a former staffer alleged Swalwell sexually assaulted her, including an alleged incident in New York in 2024. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office confirmed that that investigation was ongoing. Other women also made allegations of misconduct. Swalwell denied the seriousness of the accusations, apologized for what he called mistakes in judgment, resigned from Congress, and left the governor's race for California. Warrants also reported investigations in New York and Los Angeles. None of that proves a crime, but it explains why it would be irresponsible to dismiss the entire matter as nothing more than politics before the evidence is even known or brought to light. Now, for the other side of this, and this is the side of contradiction, Eric Swalwell was not just another member of Congress, a nobody. He was one of Donald Trump's most visible Democratic antagonists. He served on the House Judiciary Committee and the Intelligence Committee, and acted as a House manager during Trump's second impeachment. Okay? That's very important. It looks like revenge here. The FBI and the Justice Department now operate under Trump and the Trump administration. That history makes questions about selective enforcement and political motive unavoidable and probable. But unavoidability is not the same as answered. No source reviewed for this package establishes that President Trump ordered the search. Political hostility does not erase evidence, and legitimate investigation does not automatically erase the possibility of political pressure and revenge. Here may be the strongest institutional contradiction in this whole entire story. The House Ethics Committee can investigate existing current members, officers, and employees. When a member resigns, the committee loses that jurisdiction. They lose that power over them. The committee has said that publicly in many cases. So resignation can end the congressional ethics case, even when serious questions remain unresolved. But resignation does not end criminal jurisdiction. State and federal investigators can continue, and judges can authorize warrants. Prosecutors can decline charges, or a grand jury can return an indictment if the evidence and the law support it. That is why viewers should not confuse the closed House ethics track with the still developing law enforcement track. They're completely separate from one another. Here is the test. I want you to apply and be thoughtful about it, okay? First, would you accept this same warrant standard if the target were, say, a Republican that you support? Second, would you preserve the presumption of innocence if the target were a Democrat you dislike? Third, will you take the accusers seriously without converting allegations into a guilty verdict? Fourth, will you demand evidence before calling the investigation either justice or revenge? If your answer changes with the party label, you're not defending the rule of law. You're defending your team. Karma gets everyone at some point. Be careful which one you choose. So here is the honest bottom line, everyone. We know agents reportedly seized Swalwell's devices and searched his Washington home under a warrant authorized by a judge. We know the searches are connected to an investigation of serious sexual allegations. We know Swalwell denies those sexual allegations. We know his resignation ended with the House Ethics Inquiry jurisdiction. We do not know the warrant's full scope, the sworn evidence behind it, what agents found, whether prosecutors believe a federal crime can be proved, or whether charges will ever be filed. The warrant matters because it signals judicial authorized suspicion. It does not settle the actual sexual assault case. Accountability requires evidence. Political revenge is also an evidence question. The same standard must apply to both claims. It would seem to me a message is being sent. Sit down and shut up, or charges will be coming next. And he seems to have taken the advice. Does the justice system protect criminals more than victims? That episode picks up exactly where this one ends. How the system balances accusations of victims, rights, and proof. I'll meet you there. This is Money and Politics Simplified. Stay informed, stay engaged, because when you understand the sex scandals, well, my friends, you understand the politics. Have a good day.
Talking money, talking power. Follow the paper and you find a throne. Deals in the bag while the cameras roll.